Hello everyone, Renee here. I am showcasing more of my Oracle card deck collection, and in this video I'm going to show you my decks that have the themes of creativity, art, and wisdom. We're going to start off with Art Oracles, which I received as a gift from my daughter. Comes in a nice hard box, comes with a booklet where you get a description of each of the cards or each of the artists. And here are the cards. Backs look like this. And here they are. And there's a cute little message on the bottom of each card. Sometimes it's a little bit satirical, sometimes sarcastic, but always very fitting with that artist if you know anything about the artist. And if you don't, you can just refer to the booklet and read more about the artist. So we have Frida Kahlo, Michelangelo. Obviously this deck is very diverse. Vincent van Gogh, Georgia O'Keeffe. Some of these artists I had not heard of until I got the deck, and then I became a fan because of the deck. Andy Warhol. Look at this. Eat dessert before dinner. Give your 15 minutes some time. Wanting can be better than having. Just kind of funny little messages on each card. Francisco Goya, Jean-Michel Basquiat, Sophie Gallet. It's got good card stock. Everything is matte, so there's no glare when you're filming it. The back is just a tiny bit shiny, but overall pretty matte. Good size cards. Easy to shuffle. Let's see what we get. Let's just draw one. Why not? All right, Marcel Duchamp. Scandal before stardom, making it look easy is hard. May your bathroom humor leave a serious legacy. And if you don't know anything about this artist, you can look it up in the booklet. It's just a really fun, colorful deck that I love. And I love having it as a part of my collection. And that is Art Oracles. And it is written by Katja Tylovich and illustrated by Mikhail Sumer. One of my first Oracle card decks that I purchased was Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrock Rose, 52 cards. Comes in a beautiful hard box. Open it up. Beautiful booklet. Beautiful long gilded in gold cards. Here are the images. Well, here are the backs. Here are the images. Guard and protect your sacred waters of life, etc. Beautiful imagery that she painted, and then they became the illustrations for the decks. These are all her paintings, her artwork. I believe this is still in print. The shape and the look of the cards is just slightly different. I think they're a little bit shorter. Let's shuffle. Let's see what we get. Confront your opposite polarity. And the name of this painting is Encounter in Wistman's Wood. As you can see, the booklet is same size as the cards, and there is a description for each card, as well as when she painted the painting and the title of the painting. So she's been doing this type of artwork for many, many years, since it looks like at least the 90s. And again, that is Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrock Rose. One of my all-time favorite decks that I own is the Creativity Oracle by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. So This comes with a beautiful large book written by Monty Farber, and the artwork is all done by his counterpart, Amy Zerner. Here's the imagery, all color, and long, beautiful descriptions and meanings of each card. And let's take a look at these gorgeous cards. So they are gilded in gold. This is a very thick deck. I think there are, how many cards in this deck? 80. Yeah, 80 cards in this deck, gilded in gold. The backs are the images, and they're all different. And on the other side is the one word or phrase meaning, and then a little bit of a more detailed meaning, and they are all numbered as well. So let's take a look again at these beautiful images. I won't show you all of them. I don't want to spoil it for you if you end up getting this deck. But if you take each image and look at it by itself, I find it can spark something creatively within myself. When I am feeling a little bit dry creatively or stuck, I will pull a card and stare at the image for a good long while and turn it over and read what it says. So I'm getting clues and insights from both sides of these cards that are just fantastic. So let's shuffle and draw a card. One more quick shuffle here. So we're going to go with the top one, and here's the image. Beautiful. And the message is reflection, time to focus, balance, reflect, and guide yourself past stumbling blocks to take the right actions. And of course, you can look in the book for more detailed meaning of the card. Beautiful deck, one of my favorites, and that is the Creativity Oracle by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. A fun deck that I picked up that also has a little bit of a creative theme to it is the I Love the 80s Oracle. I believe I got this on Etsy. It just comes in a pouch. There's no booklet. Here are the backs. Standard tarot size, decent cardstock, and here are the images. They all have to do with the 80s. Very simple, to the point. I just love this deck. I get a lot of nostalgia when I look at this deck. Videotape, The Force, May the Force be with you, Back to the Future, of course. There's a DeLorean, Dirty Dancing, MTV, Care Bears, Ring Pop, Miami Vice, All-Star, and of course Prince. Michael Jackson's in there as well. Easy to shuffle. I don't know how many cards are in this deck, probably 45 maybe. Cute deck, I love the theme. Adds a little bit of an extra flair to the readings. And that's the I Love the 80s Oracle deck. So now we're getting into the wisdom themed decks, but a good crossover would be this gorgeous deck, the Wisdom Keepers Oracle deck and Inner Guidebook. Hard box. Comes with a hefty book that gives you detailed meanings of the cards. Comes with the cards, but also one of the cards, there's the backs, one of the cards is a mirror. Hello, so you can look at yourself. The cards are large, but you can shuffle them like this easily, which actually is lighter on the decks as well. Doesn't do as much damage shuffling that way. There's the backs, Dragonfly Key, and here are the cards. They're just gorgeous and detailed. There's a one word on each card, so you don't really have to look in the booklet unless you want to. I love just pulling a card and staring at the images, and there's all kinds of symbols in each image. that you can get little clues and insights from. Absolutely one of my favorite decks, one of my most beautiful decks. I am a face person, being a medium as well as psychic. I've seen faces everywhere since birth. Faces of dead people, faces of live people. So I love faces. I love all of these faces and the symbols she puts into them. Pretty ingenious artistry here. Isn't that great? Very, very diverse deck, beautiful deck. And that is the Wisdom Keepers Oracle Deck and Inner Guidebook by Rosie Aronson, PhD. Another deck that I picked up is the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards. I am really into Arthurian legends. I studied it in college, so I was very attracted to this deck. It is Hay House, comes with a typical Hay House booklet. And here are the cards. They are a bit glossy. Here's the backs. They've got a chalice and the moon crescent as well as the stars, gilded in gold. And here they are. Very simple. Simple yet deep. The spider, creative projects. The fire fairy, creative action, optimism. We've got wealth, joy. The Merlin, the owl, the bard, of course, the dog. Death, movement, goblin. The Grail Knight, the Lady of the Lake, of course. The stag, letting go, and many more. I won't spoil it for you. Beautiful deck. I love the artistry. It's very medieval style, earth tone, earthy colors. I've gotten a lot of really great insights from this deck, and that is Wisdom of Avalon Oracle Cards by Colette Baron-Reid. Another great deck by Colette Baron-Reid is Wisdom of the Oracle Cards. Also Hay House with the typical Hay House booklet. For each card you get the essential meaning, the oracle's message, relationship message, prosperity message, and protection message. So the protection message is for when the card is in reverse or upside down. So you do read reversals with this deck. Here are the backs. The artwork is by Jenna Della Grataglia. And here are the cards. Beautiful imagery. I love this deck. I love the fonts, the little swirls around the numbers, and I love the artwork. Just gorgeous. It's dreamlike. It's just beautiful. Very simple messages that make sense. This is definitely a go-to deck. Look at that, how cute. Very simple, easy to use. Beautiful imagery. And that is Wisdom of the Oracle Divination Cards by Colette Baron-Reid. Yet another interesting deck by Colette Baron-Reid is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle Cards. So they also come with the booklet, typical of Hay House, where the ally is upright and the challenger is in the reverse position. So you do want to read reversals for these as well. Although I don't do reversals in my YouTube videos, it's just too difficult, I just keep them upright. But if you want to do a reading for yourself, you do want to look at the reversals, at the challenging meanings. Here are the backs of the cards, and here are the images. So you get a character or a theme. I think all of these are characters. Yes, they are characters. And then 2 keywords, as well as the numbers. You can look in the booklet to see the extended message or meaning. Dreamwalker, Ringmaster. It's just a really creative deck. Cosmos, Chess Queen. Diamond Dreamer. It's a very fun deck. Sacred Union. It's got kind of a dream-like quality to it. Lady of the Mirror. Beautiful deck. And that is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms cards. One more by Colette Baron Reed, and that is the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. These are being reprinted right now with like a blue box. And I believe they took the borders off the cards. Comes with a standard Hay House booklet. And there's the reverse meaning and the upright meanings of the cards. Here are the backs of this version. Just a thin border. And here are the cards. I actually don't mind the borders with these cards, but I think they took the borders off for the new edition. Pretty simple to understand. There's rescue, talisman, commitment, intention, wishing well. They're all numbered with the keyword or phrase, and they're pretty much, you know, they are what they are. Magic prayer. It's exactly what you think it would be. Magic prayer. Prayer coming true. Storm fields, troubles coming, details, details, etc. Pay attention to the details, education. There's a spark of creativity or a spark of love. Sad embrace. Yeah. Simple to use. A great oracle deck. She does create great oracle card decks. And this one is the Enchanted Map Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. Another deck that I've had for quite a while is Vintage Wisdom Oracle by Victoria Mosley. Beautiful. Comes with a lovely booklet. Everything's matte. And quite a long description of each card and what exactly it means. Very clear and concise meanings, and there are also some spreads included at the end of the booklet. The cards are larger, but not too large. They are matte. Here are the backs, not gilded, and here are the gorgeous images. They definitely have a vintage look and a vintage feel about them, and that's what attracted me to them. A very muted, almost sepia tone to a lot of the cards with a little bit of coloration on the imagery. It's just a gorgeous deck. In fact, I haven't used this one in a while on my YouTube videos. I'll have to use this one soon. So simple phrases or words, keywords on the cards. You don't have to look into the booklet, but you can if you want to. Lovely deck. And again, that is Vintage Wisdom Oracle by Victoria Mosley. Another great deck that I own and utilize often are Tea Leaf Fortune cards by Ray Hepburn, illustrated by Shauna Alexander. Comes in a large box. Open it up like that. Comes with a large book. Goes into what all of the images mean or symbols mean when you're doing a tea leaf reading. There's different methods of how to read the cards, different readings to do. There's a little bit about reading tea leaves at the beginning. Very interesting book. The cards are round, of course, like the bottom of a teacup. We've got some that say Astral House, some that are months of the year, of course, go through all 12 months. And then the rest of the cards are the tea leaf cards. Very simple imagery, and even not just the word or keyword, there's actually the meaning on each card, which I love. So I love using these in my YouTube videos. They're all matte, they're very silky to the touch, and they're really not that hard to shuffle. You just can kind of go like this. And then you pick one. So we have mice, discord among friends or family. But all types of messages, good, bad, in between. Very nice deck, very unique deck. I love that they're round. Large deck, lots of cards, and that is Tea Leaf Fortune Cards by Ray Hepburn. 200 round cards. Another gorgeous deck that I own is Amenti Oracle. This is by Jennifer Sidoni, artwork by Natalie Miller, N-A-T-A-L-E-E, Miller, who's on the East Coast. Comes with a booklet, a book. Very interesting, but to be honest, I don't go to the book very often. I just love the images. I love the cards. I love the cards. Here's the backs. They are a matte, perfect size. And here is Natalie Miller's artwork, which is the true reason I got this deck, to be honest. It's got an Art Deco flair. I follow my inner guidance. I relate in peace. I am open to love in various forms. Just look at her artwork. I love it. I follow her on Instagram. Just love all of her stuff. They have a good silky feel to them. They're all matte, so they don't reflect when you photograph them. I advance through my own abilities. Just, I love it. It's a simple, beautiful deck. If you read the book, it gets really in depth and it is not very simple. But if you do what I do, which is just use the deck as is, it's pretty straightforward. One of my favorites, and that is Amenti Oracle. Another fun deck that I own that is fun but also very wise is the Fairy Tale Oracle, an Enchanted Oracle of Initiation, Mystery, and Destiny by Lucy Cavendish, artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So it comes in a hard-lidded box, comes with a beautiful book, and each card has a story, a fairy tale affiliated with it. And the thing I like about this deck is that it's not all sunshine and roses. It goes into the darker side of fairy tales. Another thing I studied in college. I got a degree in literature. So I studied the original fairy tales, older fairy tales, which the Snow White here and the original Snow White are a lot different than the Snow White you see that was created through Disney productions. They are frightening. So it goes into the darker side of the fairy tale stories. And so the meanings can be either positive or negative or something to do with dealing with your shadow self, okay? The cards are a little bit large, but not too big to shuffle. There's the backs, and here's the beautiful imagery by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. She's got a couple decks out, and I probably will get more of her decks. So like we have Bluebeard here, Taboos. We have the Sea Maiden, Promises, whoops. Red Riding Hood, Rites of Passage. Rumpelstiltskin, Secrets. It's just very colorful, beautiful deck that gets into kind of the nitty-gritty and the yang energy, the dark energy here as we spend this lifetime in the human form. There is darkness. There has to be darkness in order to have the light, right? So this is a great deck if you're going through something, if you're digging deep, if you want to know the truth and you think the truth might be a little frightening, but you want to know the truth nonetheless, this is a really great deck to use. The Fairy Tale Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, and artist is Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Another very accurate and wise deck that I own is Madame Endora's Fortune Cards. It just comes in a tuck box featuring artwork by Christina Philippak. They look like this. They're A little bit thin, but nonetheless, I love this deck. They're typical kind of tarot size, a good size, not gilded. Comes with a little bit of a booklet, but here are the cards. The Mystic Circle, your abilities will be enhanced. Really cool artwork and pretty succinct and to the point as far as the meanings go. Talisman, love, the king, the wizard, seduction, the key, locked doors can now be opened. So this is a must-have if you are a professional reader, in my opinion. This is a must-have. Your luck will soon change. The black cat, the wolf, beware who you trust. So it's telling you exactly what you need to know. The dagger, conflict and danger lie in wait. So it's got the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, the dark and the light. And that's life. And that's why I love this deck. And here's the booklet. It's just a thin booklet, but it gives you a little bit more about every card. And that is Madame and Dora's fortune cards. Another great Tell It Like It Is deck is Gypsy Oracle cards. They are standard card size, standard playing card size. No, not gilded, they're matte. And here are the images in different languages with the keywords. So we have soldier, we have misfortune, journey, hope, melancholy, everything you can think of pretty much, constancy, haughtiness, sorrow, thought, child. Very simple to use. Easy deck, easy to shuffle, obviously. And another must-have if you do readings for a living like I do, and that is Gypsy Oracle cards. One of my favorite Oracle card decks that I own is Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Comes with the typical Hay House booklet. You get the keyword, the card, upright meaning, reversed meaning, and an affirmation. Comes in the typical hard box of Hay House. Typical Hay House size. Here are the backs. They are a little bit shimmery, shiny, reflective, but not terrible. And here are the images. Pretty simple. Very easy to understand. You know what they mean just by looking at the card. That's the kind of deck I love for my clients' readings and for YouTube readings, where you don't have to go into the booklet unless you want to. So you kind of already know what they mean just by looking at the image and the key phrase or keyword. Very contemporary, easy to understand, beautiful imagery. One of my favorite go-to Oracle card decks. And again, that is Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Another great deck is Sacred Traveler Oracle Cards by Denise Lynn. Another Hay House deck. It's got this soft matte finish. There's a booklet, card meaning, and the Sacred Traveler wants you to know. So the card meaning and then something extra that you are to know about that card. Lovely matte finish. Here are the backs, very pretty and soft. And here are the cards. Cute imagery. Again, you can pull a few cards and you don't have to go to the booklet if you don't want to. It just kind of tells you exactly what it means. Staying focused, hold the course. Simple, succinct meanings, cute imagery, very soft colors, soft feel, matte finish. Looks really good on camera. and that is Sacred Traveler Oracle cards.